Okay, so I could just feel myself in my morning routine. My thoughts were starting to flow and connect into my artist mind way of thinking, where it's more exploratory, I think I would have to say. So I wanted to try doing a think aloud in that process. But I'm right now realizing that my face is way too distracting. So I cannot look at me. So that means I'm going to look somewhere else. So I'm going to be looking at my painting and maybe I will show it to you. Oh, how does that work? Hey, there we go. Okay, thinking aloud about little Tara. Now, the deity Tara, or I don't know, iconic incarnation, I suppose. It's complicated, but Tara is all about feminine healing, the sense of healing, basically. And she's green. She comes in different colors, and there's a whole system of like what colors mean in Tibetan Buddhism, which I don't know really much about or anything about at all, except that it exists. But you know, in my art, I've been exploring color too, and understanding that color and meaning are very much connected for me. So maybe that is a synesthesia of mine. I don't know. It could be. Or maybe it's just like a well developed sense of color with some, you know, conceptual knowledge thrown in that's accumulated over time and not really ever been looked at. So in this painting, the underpainting was more explicit, where I had tried to represent the lotus on the top of the head and the budding lotus flowers coming up from the depths and reaching for the top. And I had not really been satisfied because I felt that it wasn't really well rendered. Like I didn't really have enough nuance or detail to make it feel dimensional, like it had any kind of reality, you know? So in this one layer that I did over the last couple of days of glazing, I fixed that up. So I blurred the background and realized in the flow of things that I was strengthening the symbol of the water. And once again, using water to represent emotion and dimension of space too, you know. And in this one I'm really playing with the effect of the photograph and the memory, you know, and both of those things are not even real. So what we're really looking at is a painting. So I'm not making any effort to hide the paint, you know. I'm making an effort to blur the distinctions between all of these images that are kind of superimposed on one another, just like they are in my mind's eye, or in my mind's reality, I should say, because it's very difficult for me to visualize. In any case, I really, really like how this one plays with those layers of image, layers of reality. And so here is my self-portrait of myself when I was 2. And it is based on a photograph taken of myself when I was 2 and I was playing. And in my memory, the moment of the photograph, I have the memory of that. So I have that first person point of view of being immersed. And so in the painting, we have a sense of immersion, at least where her little knees are. I really feel like I got that sense of her knees being underwater, her legs being underwater, and that little crab in the corner there was like a little fiddler crab. So I think that that is a theme that clarity comes from diving deep. You know, in some ways, underwater, there's more clarity. You can sort of see better. And then up here in the photograph, the image of the sun there is kind of under control, you know, it's well defined. You can tell that it's behind a window and that's the sky. And okay, so the beach in the background, right? It only gets incomprehensible on this other side. And on this other side, we have, oh, well, is that the real sun? Where's the photograph gone? Are these the bands of the chair, or are these the waves of the ocean? How come we're underwater? Wait, still there's a chair. Like things get blurry, murky, you know? And out of all of that murk, right, really is how the lotus blossoms. So here we've got the symbolic, you know, the knowledge, the purity. It doesn't matter. It's quite beautiful, even, I find, you know. And, you know, I'm going to pick out the bugs that killed themselves last night on the painting. So I like also kind of feel bad about that, but oh well, right? And then I think I got baby's face almost to a point where I'm happy. And of course, the symbolism of the little moon reflected in her little belly. Little moon belly, moon baby, right? So we've got the sun and the moon, right? And we've got the sun, we've got the moon symbols, we've got the shell and the spiral and the karma, right? So it's like the whole confusing layer of reality upon reality upon reality. It's like that is the way of things, you know? That's the zen of this painting. Maybe that's what I should call it instead of Little Tara, which is a bit heavy-handed. I should just call it, you know, the way of things. Maybe I could call it Here and Now. That's funny because it's not here and now, like it's anything but. Okay, that's its name. Here and Now, The Way of Things by Little Tara. Whew, that's a complicated title. I have to pick one. Okay, so those were my thoughts. Bye.